Hey, it's Jackie Bros.
I'm Dunlap, everybody.
And I got a good sponsor for this podcast.
Podcast.
It's old. I know a lot of people are going to need some of his work right now, and I'll go so far as say he's the best one that does it. I know a lot of y'all probably having plumbing problems these days.
Plumbing problems?
Well, yeah.
Half the town burnt down.
Well, that's what did I just say? I said
that's not a plumbing problem.
That's part of it. Plumbing is part of it. You gotta fix it sometime. If you fixing your house up, you still gonna have to go to the bathroom. That goes for businesses too. That's probably the first thing you need to fix is have a bathroom go to. It's gonna take you a while to build everything up, and you're gonna have to go no matter what.
Well,
what shape the house is in.
I think you'd get a porta potty brought to the damn job site. You'd go in one of them things.
You think there's enough?
You get a roof.
You think there's enough porta potties go around for everybody?
No, not in Murfreesboro. No. Not right now. Porta potty shortage.
And we do. Murfreesboro does have a porta potty factory here in town, but it's burnt down. They gonna have to ship from outside. But
it's like that Alanis Morissette song.
What?
Where everything's ironic. What's that called?
Who?
Alanis Morissette, also pretty old, Jackie. There's a chance you might have known who she was, but I guess not old enough.
Morissette? I don't know. All right, look. There's people out there that probably gonna need some plumbing done. Everybody in town.
If most of Murfreesboro town burns down, your neighbor's house on one side burns down, your neighbor's house on the other side burns down. You walk outside, your house still standing. You go, man, am I lucky? And then toilet overflows. Like, oh, I can't even enjoy this moment.
It could happen.
It could happen. It probably, okay, I'll give that to you, Jackie. It probably has happened.
Just the way you describe. I mean,
exactly.
If that's the final straw with how bad, things are going for you, that's probably the first thing you want fixed.
Because it's probably, if your house is still standing, it's probably full of ash and blood, possibly. So you may need somebody to get out there, cut through that ash.
What, cut through it?
However they do that stuff.
The plumber?
I ain't a plumber. Yeah, the plumber. Not with your own urine or feces. You need a plumber to get in. If you toilets and pipes, I don't want to get technical on here, but if your toilets and pipes is filled with ash and blood and bone chips, you're going to need a professional.
All right, I see cut through it. I thought.
Now, sometimes if there's toilet paper in the toilet and it's kind of halfway down the hole and it's been there for a little and you come in there, I'm really talking about to the men now more than the ladies. You can, and if you got a good stream, you can aim it and you can break up that toilet paper. That's not a real clog. It's just like some toilet paper pretending to be a clog.
But that's ash and bone, all that's going to clog it up.
No, your urine, no matter how good your stream is, it's good to be back, everybody. No matter how good your stream is, it ain't going to cut through a clog.
No.
Bloody hair clumps.
That's not good.
Bone chips and ash.
See, you don't need to be talking that way on here. You're going to give people ideas.
Yeah, let me specify. It's not a good idea if your toilet is filled with bone, ash, and blood to try to break it up with your own urine. Or even a coat hanger. You're going to make things worse. Get a professional in there, and I believe, Jackie, this is where your sponsor comes in.
What? A plumber, yes.
Yes.
Get a professional. Don't get no coat hanger, jab it down there, or a big spoon either. Ladle or anything.
Don't use a wooden spoon. Look, even in the regular course of the day, the meal, run-of-the-mill course of the whatever those phrases are I'm trying to say, I know sometimes people's toilets get clogged with things. And you go to the kitchen and you're like, what can I jam down in there? Oh, look at this wooden spoon.
Knock it through. Yeah, well, we don't have to get in all that. I don't want anybody.
What we're saying is don't do that. Don't
do it, because now you
a ruler
No.
or a tape measure.
No, don't put a good tape measure. You ain't going to put in the toilet.
Well,
A ruler.
is it an emergency?
I'd use a ruler before I use a tape measure.
Yeah, rulers are cheap.
Yeah, just throw that out. But
Pencil.
A good tape measure, you don't want to be sticking down in there.
You would use a pencil, but you wouldn't use like
pencil ain't long enough. What do you mean a pencil? You going to get it all over your hand.
I was just saying you'd use a pencil, but you wouldn't use a Sharpie. Sharpies cost more money, but you're right. You want something with some length to it.
A pencil ain't going to get, if you don't put your hand down in it, it's going to splash all over you. Have some common sense. Use a pencil. But don't use any of that, number one. Well, whatever it is in you that's clogging up your commode, toilet, whatever, facilities, whatever you want to call it, don't use none of that.
Nope.
You want to use good plumbing. I know the best one in town. Old Mr. Leakey. You seen the commercials on there, Mr. Leakey? Well, I know him personally.
Wait a minute. You know Mr. Leakey personally?
He come in the store. I know him. You know him too. I ain't going to say his real name on here in case.
All right, in case his enemies are listening?
No, not his enemies. It's just, you don't. Some people like to go by their stage name or whatever it is.
So Mr. Leakey comes in your store. Mr. Leakey is a plumber.
Yeah.
Here in Murfreesboro. Jackie knows personally. Mr. Leakey is a terrible name, Jackie.
What? What do you mean it's a terrible name?
Mr. Leakey? It sounds like something's wrong with him.
What do you mean something? No.
Like he's leaky.
No, he ain't leaky. He come fixed. Your pipes leak, don't they? If you got to drop all night in the sink, what leaky? He comes and fixes it.
Well, he should call himself Mr. Leaky Fix.
That's don't make Mr. Leakey. You seen
it
the
sounds
commercial?
Like he's leaky. If your doctor is sick, if you're sick and you call the doctor don't call himself Dr. Sick. He calls himself Dr. Well. Well, he just calls himself Dr. whatever foreign name he's got.
What?
Mr. Leaky sounds like he's either leaky or he's going to make you pipes leaky.
He ain't. No, why would anybody come over your house and make your pipes leaky on purpose? What kind of business is that? You seen the commercial. He drives up. He gets out of his car and goes in the bathroom. And they don't show specifically what he does because nobody wants to watch it on TV. He just goes in there, shut the door, and he comes out and they give him a check.
I like that they give him a check in the commercial so you know that you know he's doing it for money. He's not like Doctors Without Borders. He's coming there. He's getting paid.
Well, and I ain't saying putting him down on this. I always thought it doesn't seem right him come drive up in a Burt Reynolds car because, in real life he got he may have one of those that he has for himself that he, just for,
he's got a van.
Right, he can drive whatever, but when he goes there to do a job, he got a van. Because you got to have your tools.
In real life, does he drive around with them three blondes in bikinis, or is that just in the commercial too?
I think he knows one of them is related to him, which that's
like a niece.
Yeah, something like that. But no, he knows them. I mean, but I don't know. They don't go to work with him or anything like that.
Well, that's what I thought. Because I was like, how's somebody named Mr. Leakey gonna get three hot, gorgeous ladies to ride around with him? Because they think something's wrong with him down there. Leaking all over the place.
There ain't nothing wrong.
Does he wear an adult diaper?
Oh, enough. Why are you saying all that?
Well, maybe he was leaky.
No.
And then he thought, how can I turn this around to my advantage? And then he got into the plumbing business.
What do you mean? He is a plumber, and he goes to your house and fixes it. Not like in the commercial, that's for show, but that's what it is, commercial for show. He don't come up in Burt Reynolds' car. What do you... T-Bird, what do you call those things?
Trans Am.
Trans Am. It got the eagle on. It looks just like Smoking the Bandit car. He come driving in on that with the women in the back. He goes in, but he goes in with not no tools. He got a tool belt on, and no tools on it. He goes in the bathroom, closes the door, and then you know how
they do a wipe.
Yeah, he just come right out and they give him a check and it's over with. But I mean, they give him a check because he did a good job. They wouldn't pay him otherwise. But in a commercial, make it look like magic or something like that, whatever it is.
A short amount of time. I mean, they just do one of those little flip wipes, and then he's opening the door again.
That's something, now.
He goes in, there's some filmmaking going on in that commercial, because when he walks by the people to go into the bathroom, they're frowning, and if you notice, he's smiling. And then when that flip wipe door opened, he's frowning, and the people are smiling.
But then they hand him a check, and he smiles again.
Yep.
It's a funny commercial. I like it, but anybody, you an idiot if you think somebody comes in your bathroom with magic, fix something. And plus, he ain't necessarily going to do it that fast. If you've got a serious problem, it's going to take him a while. And he sure as hell ain't going to be bringing bikini girls to somebody's house, fix it.
Plumbing ain't magic. It's hard work.
But Mr. Leakey, like it's a brand name and it's funny. I like a commercial. I don't know about that music on it, but I like a commercial. It's funny. I laugh every time.
What do you got against Pitbull?
I don't know. I don't like rap music. I never have. I don't care. I don't know who Bull, Snoop, Dogg. I don't know any of them.
Those are the three main ones. Listen, let me tell you just a little bit about Pitbull. I know a lot of people don't like him, but I'm going to tell you now, if you're having a party and Pitbull shows up, that party is about to get better.
Well, I guess that's why he used it. He think, although Mr. Leakey going to the house, he don't go there for a party. He go there to fix your bathroom.
Well, if you notice in the commercial, when the door shuts, music stops. Flip wipe, door opens. Here comes that Pitbull again. It's like, okay, now we can party in this bathroom again. Mr. Leakey come in and fixed it. That's just some film theory stuff I noticed in that commercial.
Well, it's a good commercial. I ain't got nothing to do with it. But Mr. Leakey, everybody knows Mr. Leakey from that thing, and it don't mean because he's going to make you leak. Everybody knows, because from a commercial and everything else, it means he's going to, fix, and he ain't got no medical problem like you were saying either. That's full of it. As far as I know, anyway.
I just don't think, I don't think he tested that name very much.
What do you mean? Everybody loves them commercials.
Leakey. The commercials are good, Mr. Leakey.
I hear kids coming in this store, even though I don't like rap, rapping that whatever it is over and over again.
The Mr. Leakey rap?
Whatever kind of rap it is, I don't know. Dog, Bull.
I've been assuming that's the real Pitbull rapping the Mr. Leakey rap, but I guess he could have hired a Pitbull impersonator to do it. You never see Pitbull. It's just got the energy of a Pitbull verse in a top 40 summer smash.
I don't like it. I just don't like rap music. It ain't got nothing to do with
it's just Leakey, gonna get freaky.
I don't like it, but the kids come in here and do it all the time. Of course, I tell them to stop, and I don't mind the commercial coming on, but when it comes on here at the store, I turn the sound down. I can't, I'm in there trying to work. I can't hear it. I'm just saying, turn that down till it's off.
Some people work and listen to rap music at the same time.
And that's fine. They're welcome to do it.
Some people's job is rap music.
That's, so be it. If they want to put that out in the world, let them do it. If they can make money that way, all power to them. But I don't have to listen to it in my store. And I like Mr. Leakey. He's a personal friend of mine. That's how much I don't like rap. But everybody knows Mr. Leakey, come fix your pipes. That's my sponsor, and like I said, I know a lot of you got pipe issues right now, so old Mr. Leakey from commercial stardom and just the quality of the job he does in your bathroom. So call Mr. Leakey. That's it. That's my sponsor.
That's Mr. Leakey. Call him up. He'll fix your pipes. He might be incontinent. So,
He ain't.
that's Mr. Leakey.
Ain't got nothing to do with it.
If you have a phone book that
Just
is in one
because somebody's
piece,
up there in age like Mr. Leakey don't mean he's incontinent.
no, but his name is Mr. Leakey.
It's a name like anything else. It's just for plumbing. It's like Drano or what liquid plumber or any of those names.
Those are products. Those are not people.
Mr. Clean.
That's not even for you. That's to clean things up with.
Well,
That ain't the same thing as Drano.
after Mr. Leakey been in there working on the toilet for 2 hours, he's gonna need to clean it up after it, or he's going. Most plumbers I know don't clean up after themselves. I don't know what Mr.
You
Leakey
don't want
do.
them to.
No,
They make it worse.
Worse. It just you fixed it. That's fine. Get on out. But if I got cleaned out, Mr. Clean, that's what you use.
Drano and Liquid Plumber don't have comical mascots. Mr. Clean there's a cartoon of him.
Well,
difference.
In this marketplace, you got to do what you got to do. That's what he's got to compete with, because everybody knows Drano or Liquid Plumber. Everybody known them for years. I know the name of those. I've known them all my life, pretty much, for the most part.
When do you think you first heard about Drano? How old do you think you were?
I don't know how old I was when I first heard about Drano. Can't remember that far back. Good Lord. But as good as those names are, I think Mr. Leakey, even though that's local, but someday, he can't live,
Forever.
I know that, but I'm sure he's going to pass down the name Mr. Leakey or somebody buy it up or whatever. So I don't doubt years from now, young'uns will know Mr. Leakey the same way we knew Drano and Liquid Plumber and Mr. Clean.
Drano, fix your drain.
Mr. Butterworth, I go on all day.
Miss Butterworth, also, why would...
She's
is this
not
what you're pouring in your toilet?
No, just everybody.
Just...
That would mess it up. What I'm talking about, having a name that everybody knows. As far as back I can remember, I've known, what do you put on your pancakes? Put on Miss Butterworth.
After you're done, clean up with Mr. Clean.
Well, if you spill it or whatever, yeah, if you get all over.
And if your pipes are working too well, you call Mr. Leakey. He comes over, makes them leak.
No,
and he's wearing an adult diaper.
He doesn't do either one of those, and you know he don't do either one of those. Don't say that on here. You just got to run my sponsor down, whatever it's called. He could have been called Mr. Toilet Bowl, and you'd have run him down.
I wish he was.
Nobody would. Nobody going to, even if that's his job, nobody's going to invite Mr. Toilet Bowl over the house. Period. Mr. Leakey.
Mr. Leakey is better than Mr. Toilet Bowl. I will say that.
Anybody knows that.
I will say that. I'll hand him that. You don't want, if you got kids especially and they got to go to a public school and your name is Mr. Toilet Bowl, can you imagine what they're going to go through? You'd have to homeschool them, definitely.
It doesn't make any difference. If that was the name of my sponsor, I'd have to hear this for 2 hours.
Yes.
You going on?
Maybe 3. Mr. Toilet Bowl. Oh, that's a good one. I wish.
Crazy.
I'll just have to settle for old Mr. Leakey.
Mr. Leakey will get the job done. I don't know about there ain't no such thing as far as I know. Miss Toilet Bowl, is figure speech. It's just what I was trying to get the point across. Of course ain't no Mr. Toilet Bowl. Maybe that was the wrong thing. If his name was Mr. Fix Your Toilet, you would
bowl.
Fix your bowl?
Fix your toilet bowl.
Just fix your toilet. I thought you just fix your bowl. That could be anything.
Are you making a pot reference? Smoke a bowl?
No,
I'd call Mr. Smoke a Bowl.
No.
Hell, if I got high enough, I'd call up Mr. Toilet Bowl and invite him over, too. I don't care.
Talking about bowl you eat soup or cereal or anything out of. I did. Look.
Are you talking about Mr. Fixie Bowl that used to have his office right there next to Wire Tower's wash jars next to the dump? Like you'd go into the dump, find some jars, and Wire Tower would wash them out, or you'd find some broken bowls.
No, sir, he would not
Mr.
wash
Fixie
them
Bowl,
out. No, sir, he would not wash your jars out.
He would wash.
If
Found jars in the dump and washed them out. That's correct.
Well,
Sorry.
what's the difference? I can go down there and I'm saving him a trip.
Now
I'd have paid him the same thing. I'm saving that man a trip to go in the garbage.
That's true, Jackie. You know, I'd never put myself in your shoes before, but
Well,
when I
and it's in
got
there-
mixed up on what Wire Tower's services
Cuss me up and
actually
down.
were.
To hell up you. That's what it said. Hell with you up yours.
Well, the dump.
Excuse my language, but that's what kind of language Wire Tower uses when you take jars down there for him to wash.
Well, all that, his business, Mr. Fixie Bowl, that entire mini mall of shacks by the dump.
I don't know, Mr. Fixbowl. I ain't going to say a word about him.
Well, that's all burned down now anyway, and the
I know.
fires at the dump still smoldering.
I figure if a bowl breaks, let's throw it in the garbage, go get another one. It ain't
Well,
worth the
you
trouble going over there, take it to him. Now, jars, I had them backed up. They weren't broken. They were sitting, I had boxes and boxes of them. I would have paid him the same damn amount. Pitiful.
Did he survive? I guess he's okay. Wire Tower, I ain't heard
Hell,
from him.
I don't know.
It's hard to keep track. I don't know who's still at the shelters. So that's Mr. Leakey.
That's my sponsor. I say that. Don't say something smart, because that's what you're going to say right after you say Mr. Leakey. Mr. Leakey, for all your plumbing needs, a bathroom, I'm sure he does kitchen too. Plumber's plumber. But Mr. Leakey, I know a lot of people are going to need work probably in both. So that's who you call a good a plumber as I've ever known. And I like the commercials too, besides the music. So, Mr. Leakey, y'all give him a call. And if you got plumbing problems, you get me all rattled here, and I can't remember what I'm supposed to say on these things. I'm just supposed to say the name of what to do, not talk foolishness for however long we sit here.
Well, I've got a good sponsor this week, Jackie. I think
I
you're
don't
really
know
going to
about
like
that.
them.
Well, let me try to run it down and show you what
I
it's
don't
like.
see how you can run down
Well,
high-dollar cookies.
Oh, well.
High-dollar cookies, folks. Best cookie you ever put in your mouth. Is it going to cost a little more than a regular cookie? Of course.
Well, it's in the name.
It's in the name, and once you taste these high-dollar cookies, you'll know that it was worth it.
They're good. I mean, yeah,
It's hard to describe. It's kind of crunchy, and then there's some moisture to it, moistness.
It's like cake right in the middle.
In the middle, it's like cake.
I don't sell them here in the store because most people come to my store. You know, I don't run a kind of specialty store is what it is. I don't mean to say people how much money they got. I don't like to talk about people with their money, but they wouldn't sell. They just sit on the shelf if I had them here in this store, but they're good.
Well, it ain't where you'd go. Jackie's Market ain't if you looking for high-dollar cookies. You're going to want to go to a store probably. When you're like, I got to get some high-dollar cookies, I got to go to that store with the goat cheese.
I got goat cheese here.
Not from a damn...
Back in the cooler, I got blocks of it.
That somebody made. It ain't from a distributor.
What's the difference now? Now look.
It's wrapped up in a plastic sack because Moo Paul from down in the holler made it and brought it up here to sell.
It's as good a goat cheese as any fancy goat cheese, as far as I'm concerned.
It's got goat hair on the bags. Nobody's
you
going to buy that.
You got to shave. Not shave it, but that's how Moo Paul says it. Make sure you shave this goat cheese before you eat it, but you just get a razor, cut it out, is what it's saying. But you get all that out. Now, look, I know there's a difference, but if somebody, you know how people come down here if they hear, Miss Bros is sick, which she has been for years, and act like I just found out, and they always bring cookies down here. Now, they're good. Just neighbor come by, bring some cookies around, you eat them. They're good, but they ain't high-dollar cookies. Now, I don't know how that situation could be the same with goat cheese. Goat cheese.
Goat cheese, you want a fancy high dollar, not name brand high dollar. High dollar, as far as I know, only makes cookies. They don't make goat cheese. I'm using it just as an adjective. Just to describe some goat cheese. You want some of that high dollar, expensive goat cheese.
Well, no, because I said I got some in the. No, it ain't the same thing as cookies.
That's from a moonshiner. There's hair, and bags are sold. From a person. I ain't gonna eat goat cheese that come from a holler because it's 2014 and I am sophisticated.
Yeah.
I'm a man of taste.
Yeah, you that all right.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
So that's high dollar cookies. We eat a bunch of these when we was down there in Jockey's Bunker. I'll tell you what.
I never had them before. They good. I don't want to get a taste for them because it'd have to be on once a year or something like that, special occasion.
They ain't. I mean, you can go to Sam's Club and probably pick them up in bulk and probably save a little bit. They're probably a little more affordable.
I don't know.
I had to really do some legwork to get them to be a sponsor. They said, I don't know if you podcast a little down market for
it. Ain't that hard. Lord knows they probably blow their nose on with $25.
They said it was just about the optics. But they give me the $25.
Well, yeah.
I think it was mainly just so I would leave. You should go to their offices. Nice.
They got through offices still standing?
They're not in Murfreesboro.
Oh.
Franklin.
Well, yeah.
Nice offices. Corporate headquarters. Swank.
Well.
Carpet.
If you gotta be that fancy for you to make a living, so be it.
Plants.
Well.
And delicious trays of high dollar cookies when you walk in the door.
Well,
like, that's so much money just sitting there on that damn tray.
Just giving it away.
Just giving it away.
Like sample.
Well, they'll watch you to see how many you take. They're for guests, but I mean, you can't load your pockets up with them.
There you go.
I mean, they'll let you munch on one or two, but you can't. I think like 3 would be
like
pushing
a whole
it.
Cookie, not just a piece of it with a toothpick in it. The whole...
A whole cookie. It's corporate headquarters. They ain't going to chintz.
Well, it's almost worth the drive there just to get the free...
Well, you got to have an appointment.
Appointment?
I made an appointment. I ain't going to high dollar cookie headquarters without an appointment. You won't even get on the grounds.
Yeah.
Beautiful grounds. Beautiful landscaping.
Yeah.
So that's high dollar cookies. We ate the shit out of these in Jockey's Bunker. And when we left there, Jockey's Bunker was looted, and I'm sure the first thing that those looters went for were them high dollar cookies.
Well, yeah.
I mean, you can watch any news report. And if there's looting going on, it's the first thing you're going to see people walk out of that store with. It's sort of a cliche to see people, they got the big screen TV, but you watch crates of high dollar cookies.
Well, the hell, there ain't none left after we had to go down there.
We eat all.
Well,
Pretty much. Whatever was left, whatever people could find, I'm sure that's what they went for first.
Well, there wasn't none of those left after we got out of there. We went those.
They were so good.
They're good cookies. I mean, I ain't talking them down. I'm just saying that everybody can, it's hard to say. Like I said, I'm glad I ain't got too much of a taste for them because I don't know if I'd keep eating them, like I said.
All I'll say is if you can't afford them, maybe you don't deserve them.
Well, I don't know about that. But they're good. They taste good. As far as cookies go, I don't know.
Crunchy and just...
They're even better than old Amos. What's his name?
Famous Amos?
Yeah.
Did you hear that motorcycle?
Yeah, it's loud.
Mayor Bain Jekyll Jr. ain't going to tolerate them roving motorcycle gangs.
Well, if he puts a stop to that, I'll.
It's like a road warrior outside.
Yeah.
Because they can't, if you just riding your if you're in a gang, motorcycle gang, Hell's Angels, that's cool. But don't ride your motorcycle around and have a mohawk and you dusty leather vest. And you ride your motorcycle around real loud and you stand on it and then you go, yeah, yeah. You have that high-pitched laugh.
I never thought I'd see anything like that here.
Well, it's getting back to normal here.
Little by little, yeah. Well,
little by little.
Yeah.
But those road warrior motorcycle gangs got to go.
Well, yeah. If Mayor Bain Jekyll get rid of them on top of everything else he done, he'll get my vote.
Why don't you kiss him? You love him so much.
Hey.
Hey, look at there. You see him? Well, open your damn eyes in. It's the old-timey country down-home Red State Update podcast and them. Coming to you from a bunker underneath Jackie's Market in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. And here they are, both of them.
Hey, it's Jack Bros.
Hey, everybody, it's Dunlap here. Welcome back to the Red State Update podcast.
Yeah.
I figure we are about halfway through winning the first podcast in Peabody.
What?
Jackie, how are you?
I'm all right.
Good
Yep.
to hear that.
Considering, yeah, I'm doing fine.
Yep, I'm doing okay. We're down here in Jackie's bunker.
Back over where we belong, yeah.
We were recently in Jockey's bunker.
Well, didn't have no choice. It wasn't like we weren't invited and we didn't want to go over there.
But, man, it was lap of luxury.
Yeah, it's just for show.
And then when we left there, we probably should have locked the door again, closed it behind us or something, because Jockey's store had burnt down, but the entrance to the bunker was still. But we just left the door open. I just wasn't thinking, I don't guess.
Well, you know everybody gonna get down in there.
Looters, and then they burn
Yeah.
it down from the inside.
He wasn't using it, so maybe some other people need to get down there and get help they needed, So be it.
Jackie, you don't even care.
What do you mean?
You're like, well, I'm done with it. Who cares what
I'm
happens
just
to it
saying,
now?
if you gonna have something that nice, just know everybody's gonna want to get in there. That's how I look at it. You trying to show off, people. Everybody gonna see it. You show something off. It's on magazines, everything else. People waiting to get in there.
I'll tell you this, it was a crazy month. But things seem to be getting back to normal here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
You gotta keep going on. You can't just, get on about your business.
Yep. We are coming together as a community. There's rebuilding. There's a sense of hope. Real hope. Not fake. Hashtag hope. Like some presidents try to get you to believe in that ain't real.
Yeah, how's that hope and change? That's everybody you need to ask them that. Ask them on computers and in the face, everywhere. So how's that hope and change treating you? How, from what you thought it was?
You ask everybody that?
Well, not Republicans, no. They know. They smart enough to know better than that.
But everything's looking up here in Murfreesboro finally, and I'd say we're on the upswing.
Well, we were until President you-know-who let disease and let it all in the country. So, everybody's scared here like they are all over this country right now, like it should be, as if we hadn't gone through enough.
It is a shame to be recovering from one tragedy and then be faced immediately with another, but I guess that's been the last 6 years under the Obama administration, and the newest tragedy we're faced with here is Ebola.
It's terrible. I don't know exactly what it is, but I know it's bad.
Eat your face off.
Everything else, it just sounds terrible, everything you hear about it. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, somebody need to take care of it quick, because it's hot enough up in the kitchen when I'm at work. It's hot enough in there just in my overalls. So now I got to wear hazmat.
Well, I don't think you don't have to wear that.
No, I ain't going to. Somebody got to stay alive, keep a store running. Everybody else, y'all get sick.
Jackie, you don't have to wear the hazmat suit yet. There's no yet.
Well, you look on TV and they say he had Ebola, and everybody's got them on. Everybody, whether it's in Africa, Texas, or Washington, wherever it is, people got that.
Not everybody. There's not the people walking down the street or at McDonald's.
Well, because they ain't walking down the street going to McDonald's, because they know Ebola's out there. If you was going to those places, you'd get. Every time I see it on TV, there's people. They got all that stuff on. It was hard enough having to order it. We used to have Army Supply here in town, but no, I had to go past Smyrna to get me one.
Army Supply burnt down.
Yeah.
Jackie, here you are. Your two biggest competitors, Jickeys and Jockeys, burnt to the ground. So I come here. Granted, you ain't got gas, but I figured the first day you got back up here, opened the store up after the troubles, you'd be swarming with customers. And I'm like, well, it's pretty thin out here. I wonder where everybody is.
The usual still coming in. Everybody, normally comes in.
It's because people come in and see you in a damn hazmat suit and think you're under quarantine.
They can think whatever they want. Whatever they want to think. I ain't going to get sick over what somebody else thinks.
I think it's a little overkill. You're making people scared because they see you in that.
They ought to be scared. He let all that in the country. If it's in Texas and thriving, from what I understand down there, then it can be anywhere. People need to be scared.
Well, I don't know if these two people got it.
That's how it starts. Used to not be anybody here in this country had it, but then, Obama wants to seem cool to Africa, and just, y'all keep coming anytime you want. That's how it is. And you say whatever you want about my hazmat. As soon as all y'all get Ebola, guess we gonna come run to? Won't come over here and borrow my hazmat suit.
Well, listen, if that happens, don't lend it out. Because if you get it back and they got Ebola, it's going to be in the suit.
I'm not going to lend it. That's what I said. Don't any of y'all try to get it. Listen to what I'm saying. Don't try to come get this suit, because I ain't taking it off.
Yeah, don't let nobody borrow it, Jackie, because if they give it back to you, there's going to be Ebola in that suit. Do you hear what I'm saying? Don't let anybody borrow it.
I'm not going to let anybody borrow it, because I'm going to be wearing it.
You know what happens if you let somebody borrow that suit? If what you just said happens and everybody gets Ebola and comes to you to borrow your hazmat suit,
they're going to want it.
They're going to put it on. All that Ebola is going to come.
They're not going to put it on. That's what I'm saying. Listen to me.
I hear you. I'm just wondering if in that moment when some poor Ebola person staggers through your door, like, Jackie, please.
There probably already been some here. I made you take your temperature 4 or 5 times before I let you. There's only 2 or 3 places I'll go at home and down here in this bunkers. Only 2 safe places I know. And I had took your temperature 4 or 5 times before I let you come in here and lock that door up there.
What was my temperature normal?
If it wasn't, I wouldn't. If you was running a fever, I wouldn't let you in there.
What if I needed a place to lie down because I had the flu?
You'd lie down where you usually lie down, outside somewhere by the table up there in one of the booths.
I wish I was up in one of them booths right now, laying down.
Yeah.
Getting a good nap in.
I'm telling you, you ain't got a fever yet. I know you ain't got no money, but you always figure out how to get money to get for some lady of the evening or whiskey, or your drugs, all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I would take some of that movie and get me a hazmat suit before it's too late. You get one, put them on. It's not bad enough that the country's going down the tubes. It's not bad enough that we got the worst terrorists ever known to mankind cutting the heads off, coming over here over the border. They got all these sick children already on the border. It's not bad enough just having that. You got to let Ebolas in here, too.
If I was Roland Emmerich and I was writing a movie about the end of the world, I wouldn't have I'd say that's too much.
Yeah.
It's too much to keep track of.
It ain't too much for Obama.
People aren't going to buy it. Well, that's why Roland Emmerich is better than Obama. I'll say it right here.
I don't know who it is, but I'm going to agree with you right now on that. It ain't one of them porns, is it?
No, but there's a porn parodies of several of his films.
What?
You know, because when it's the end of the world or aliens, whatever, disaster strikes, you get horny, man.
I don't
you know
watch
how
any
horny
of that.
you get?
I
when there's a tornado warning or whatever, you're like,
What
I
is
could
wrong
go to
with you?
town on somebody
What
right
is
now.
Wrong with you?
Well, it's just life and death situations, and
That's all you can think of.
your senses heighten, and you're just ready for whatever comes your way. And sometimes that's getting horny and ready for some action.
I don't want to keep that to yourself, no matter what's going on.
Well, when the caveman days was happening and all that was going on, and they were having to fight off saber-tooth.
You want to be like a caveman. That's what you want to be like. That's what you're saying. You want to compare yourself to a caveman, half animal. That's what you trying to be as good as right there.
I will tell you that my OkCupid handle is half animal. Because that's what ladies like to hear. What do you like in a sack? Are you all human or are you half animal?
I don't want to hear about any of it. Ain't nobody business what anybody's like it. I don't care.
Don't answer that question, all human. That ain't what they want to hear. They want to hear half animal.
I don't want to hear it.
You could say all animal, but then that's if my OkCupid handle was all animal, people would think I was just into bestiality.
I don't care.
Which I am not.
I don't care what your Cupid is. I don't want to hear about it.
But wait a minute. Now that I think about it, half animal probably sounds like I want to bring a lady and an animal into it.
Oh, half animal sounds like caveman or elephant man, something like that. Something years behind.
Well, I don't want to make... see, you don't want what women to think of the elephant man when they're reading your OkCupid. Well, now, if you got, like, elephantitis because you got a big...
What?
I'm trying to think of the best word to use. I'm just going to go with Johnson. Like elephantitis, but not a sick kind. Just it's big.
All right. I know.
But that's a lot for them to infer.
I know what you're saying.
Man, this is a nightmare.
I don't want to hear any of it.
I've got a lot of thinking to do.
You got a lot of thinking to do because you ain't got a hazmat on.
Yep, time is running out. I got to get my OkCupid profile top notch before Ebola takes us all.
Yeah. It's going to.
terrorists wear suicide vests. They put strap bombs on.
I know they do.
They walk wherever, drive up, kaboom.
Yeah.
Why do we think a terrorist would not wear an Ebola belt?
I wouldn't doubt it for a second. Duncan Hunter, who I usually don't try to listen to that much.
His name, mainly.
Well, yeah, but he said, now this, he may know something about, though, because it makes sense to me. He says the terrorists, the ISIS, is coming over the border wearing Ebola belts.
Why do we think they wouldn't do that?
It's the first thing they would do. Like, how we going? They all sitting there planning, getting ready, get dressed up in that stuff, and sitting there and saying, well, the only thing that's stopping us is how we get into America. So they checking the flights for this and that and all that, and they one of them. Because, some of them have TVs or whatever. Some of them keep up with what's going on. Hell, they got movie studios. They're making movies and cutting heads off or what. I mean, not fake movies. I think that's real. That's pitiful what they're doing. But one of them's got to know when they're asking that, like there's little children wandering up. And if a little Mexican child can do it, then I know Arab terrorists can.
I don't know which way that's the most racist, but I'm just going to let it sit.
Listen, I try not to be racist like anything else. I don't know what they talking about. I ain't racist. But the last thing I'm worried about is racist when Ebola don't like any color.
That's true.
Ebola don't care whether you're Chinese or Arab or white.
Those are three big ones. If Ebola is kind of,
it's kind of what?
Ebola is a forward-thinking disease. It doesn't care about race.
No.
It doesn't care how much money you make.
Nope.
It doesn't care. All it cares is have you shit or vomited on something.
All right. You don't have to say it that way.
And I got a question about that because I think they may be selling Ebola short. Why are we listening to them when they say, oh, no, somebody's got to have had diarrhea all over? I think I just cinched that Peabody. Somebody's got to have had diarrhea all over you or threw up in your face for you to get this disease. And because people say, well, that hardly ever happens, so I'm safe. Nope. People getting it left and right. So I'm saying there can't be that much diarrhea and face vomiting anywhere in the world, let alone Texas, for this to be spreading like this. I think it's probably, look, I don't want to scare anybody, but I'm going to say it. It's got to be much worse than they're letting on.
Yeah, it is. That's another reason to wear hazmats. Don't get any of that on you. Just regular without Ebola.
I hope this is part of a trend, Jackie, that you're a trendsetter, because I would love to see the elderly and easily frightened of America walking around struggling underneath the weight of hazmat suits. I think that...
Oh, you could say scared. I say wise. We'll be the last ones here. Everybody think, oh, what a waste. All them old people ain't got much life left anyway, gonna run the world. Well, I say to hell with you. If you ain't got a right to say that. If you ain't got a hazmat suit on.
Hazmat. Well, look at Washington, Jackie. Look who is saying we need an Ebola czar. One of our oldest, John McCain. Says we need Ebola czar.
Well, there you go.
It's two foreign words put together. Ebola czar.
Sound like something Star Wars, something like that. Ebola czar. It's two foreign words.
You got to go into the swamps of Dagobah to see Ebola czar. He'll give you
That's
what you need.
It sounds like to me. I don't know why we need that. Now, McCain, he is older, but doesn't necessarily make all old people wise. Now, about this, he seems to be on it. If that means something to help stop Ebola, then yes, I want that. But other than that, if that name's just for showing, it's silly.
Ebola czar. Well, some of the airplane people in New York said they ain't going to clean up the airplanes anymore.
I don't blame them.
I read a little more. They say it ain't just about Ebola. But nobody's really going to listen to your demands after the Ebola one. Because the headline was like, oh, striking because of Ebola. And then down in there, they're like, listen, we deal with shit and vomit every
All
day.
right, you don't have to say it
It
that
ain't
way.
just Ebola. But that's what's going to get people's attention is Ebola. So I don't even know why he's trying to clarify it. Just go with Ebola. Because if you want to get, if your job contains a lot of dealing with diarrhea and vomit.
There's Mr. Leakey. He's got one of these hazmat suits.
I hope he updates his commercial so he pulls up wearing that.
I don't know if there's any cameras left around here and make one. I don't know. But yeah, he should. He might as well. He'll come fix the toilet and then warn people about,
Ebola.
Yeah.
Because he's down in it.
Well, like
What do you do in a toilet? Two things that give you Ebola. Everything you do in a toilet gives you Ebola.
Yeah. He's taking precautions like everybody should.
Toilets is where the stuff that gives you Ebola goes.
How many people work around toilets now? If people work at a sewage plant, just name all of them. They need to put on some suits right now. I'm going to say it. And then there's people, just janitors everywhere. You have to clean that toilet all day long. And then in fancy places, there's those gentlemen.
They had one at the High Dollar Cookie HQ, a bathroom attendant.
Yeah, had the towel.
Had to tip him.
And vest, yeah.
He was wearing goggles, but that may have been.
That ain't enough.
I was like, "What, you playing racquetball?" He said, better safe than sorry. So I don't know if that was Ebola or just what he was talking about.
Well, he needs to put on more goggles. I'm say that right now.
Maybe he's just easing into it. What about people that wash your clothes? Your underwear.
Yeah. Look, I deal with food all day. That's the reason I got that on. Because I go pick up plates and forks and knives, and I clean the bathroom here.
Gross.
I don't mop it in there, but I clean it.
Gross.
It's my store.
That floor is black-brown.
It's got Mr. Clean all over it.
You don't mop it. He just dumps Mr. Clean on the floor.
Well, it helps stay sanitary and smell.
And goes down that drain in the middle of the floor. Why don't you run a mop across it once in a while?
I do. I mop it sometimes. Sometimes you put paper towel down, wipe it up. Either way.
Wipe it up with your foot. You throw some paper towels
I
down and scoot your foot across it. That ain't cleaning it.
I ain't getting down there on all fours.
I don't see why the health department ain't closed you down yet.
Well, I'll tell you this right now. It's the last place they're going to check. You go in there. Of course, there ain't too many restaurants around.
Most of them burned down.
Yeah, but I guarantee you they ain't wearing no hazmat suits. I'm taking extra precaution. That's not just for me. That's for you, too.
Can you imagine going into Demas's and seeing everybody wearing a hazmat suit? Nope.
Well, that's going to be the future. Get used to it.
Everybody wearing a hazmat suit. It looked like Back to the Future.
Wow.
That future. Isn't that what's he wearing when people come in there in that
Back
barn?
to the Future. He sick.
In real life, yeah, but not in Back to the Future.
No, that's what I meant. I'm trying to put two and two together. I'm trying to make sure I'm thinking about the right thing.
It's
what it
all
is.
in the title. He goes back. You gotta go. He
Well,
goes to the past.
there's all sorts of future movies here and there. I don't know all of them. I'm trying to work it out. That's the reason I ask. Is he the one that was sick?
That's him.
Well, now I know what you're saying. Him and Tax on there. Yes. It's silly to me, but if he's going to the future, 2014, he better have on hazmat suits. I'll tell you that right now. He already sick.
So, folks, it just seems like we've been on here talking about one just horror after another lately.
No, we just talked about one. Now, Ebola.
Right, but in the weeks leading up to this, it's just horror after horror.
Well,
now.
yeah, that's mostly, local news, but
Sure, but even the national news is like horror, and then local is horror. Used to, you could turn to the pages of your local newspaper to see about science fairs and prize winning.
no. You
Nope.
can't even go to the funny pages anymore. Zig is wearing, now it's funny, but he's got on hazmat suit.
And he's like, keeps the rain off. Walking around with that bird like a parrot. God damn it, pirate.
Zig is always funny to me. He's just hippie getting rained on. Don't matter what he's got on, as far as I'm concerned. I know it keep him dry, but the rain still hit. We got to listen to it.
That is soothing if you're in a hazmat suit and a rainstorm, just like put you to sleep. Put me to sleep. That's what I use on my noise thing when I lay down is rain on a hazmat suit.
Well, everybody going to be wearing them soon. You better be. They said Ebola don't go through the air, though. That's what they're saying. Come through liquid, right? Come through.
Yeah, it's got to come through,
water.
I think, specifically your diarrhea.
Well,
your vomit,
but
it's
all wet.
Snot.
It's all water. So who's to say when it rains it can't get in the rain? That's all water.
Maybe if the rain is God when he cries, what if God has Ebola?
Oh, that ain't funny. Don't be sacrilegious on here. I'm just saying it can't go in the air. Is the point I'm saying.
What if somebody's crying real hard and you wipe her cheeks? You're like, I'm sorry, baby, I didn't mean to make you cry, and then you got Ebola through her tears.
Yeah. Well, that's another way. But I'm saying, so in the air, it don't hurt you, but when it's raining, the water goes through the air, so Ebolas can get in it in the rain. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Like if somebody tall is walking above you,
it ain't got to do with nobody else.
And the water trickles down their body onto your head, could you get Ebola that way?
I'm not
That's
saying.
a good question.
Well, yeah, I want to know. That's what they're doing. They're not telling people how to stay safe. They ain't telling them what we want to know. What I just described, ain't none of them men in suits on TV explain that to me yet. All they're doing is sitting there going, oh, you can't get it. Quit you fussing. There's no way to get it. And while they're saying that, more and more people keep getting it. So somebody ain't telling me. In times like this is when you got to start thinking on your own. Now, I know most of America ain't used to that, but I'm telling you, better get to be used to that or start doing it, one or the other, and go buy you a hazmat suits.
I can't handle having to hide out in another bunker so soon after. Jockey's was nice, but it ain't there no more. And I can't be down here. It still smells like sick from Miss Broles being in here so long.
Well, she had to stay safe. I lit a candle over there.
I wish, like with monsters, there's always a silver bullet or garlic. That keeps monsters away. I wish there was something like that for diseases.
Well, some diseases, it's not, you take a pill, it ain't a bullet or anything, but, you go get a flu shot or you get whatever it is, you get sick, you take that and it makes it go away. That's reading back in the days, they thought, doctors were wizards or whatever the hell, science come along.
And now we ain't no smarter because we listen to idiots telling us, everything's fine. And guess what? Ebola. Hey, I need to borrow your hazmat suit.
Not today. You ain't gonna.
No,
today.
on Halloween.
I probably ain't gonna be going outside on Halloween. I turn all lights off and stay in. If you bring it back to me the next day.
Oh, that's cool. If you can take my temperature, then I'll wear that and I'll pretend to be you.
What?
Go out. Everybody think it's hilarious. I don't know where we're gonna have Halloween parties this year because so much things have burned down.
Just be you wearing my hazmat suit, but you need
funny.
to wear it though, because I don't want I don't want nobody to get this stuff.
What if some trick-or-treaters come up on your porch and say, trick or treat, and then they vomit on you and they give you Ebola?
I'm worried about them vomiting on me way before Ebola ever come around. That's the reason I turn my light off and sit down, be quiet. I don't want anybody to know we're home because kids eat candy all night and they ain't used to eating it. That's just your parents let you run wild, dress however you want, and just eat candy all day, all night. You're going to be throwing up all the other.
I will tell you one of the scariest things that ever happened to me was when I come over your house at Halloween and door was open, but it was all dark in there. It's like, Jackie, pitch black in there. And just as my eyes starting to adjust, your pale old face raising up out of the couch.
What?
Going, what do you want? Scary as hell.
What do you mean it's scary?
Just dark and an old man starts talking all of a sudden.
I don't remember that. I don't think I left the door open. If I did, I didn't mean to.
No, you can jimmy the back one. Let me ask you this question. What if so many kids come to your house? This is the kind of stuff I ain't telling us.
Yeah.
A bunch of trick-or-treaters come up to your house, and they all throw up so much there is a moat of vomit around your house, and they all got Ebola. So all that Ebola vomit is around your house. You gonna tell me that you actually have to put your hands or face in that vomit moat to get Ebola? That much Ebola vomit is not somehow going to seep into the air and get in your lungs and give it to you that way? What if you step over it? What if you get it on your shoes? Does that give you Ebola?
Yeah.
Where is there a question and answer? I need a FAQ on a vomit moat. I mean, this is not a hypothetical thing. This happens every Halloween. Some vomit moats probably bigger than others, but nobody's telling us anything. It's like it's keep them calm.
And there's a lot of churches, Third Episcopal, what is it, Episcopal, Church of God here in town, Holiness, I can't remember the name of it right now, but they have shut in on, they
Sure,
did.
Third Pentecostal Holiness Church.
Third Pentecostal Holiness Church,
Right.
Holiness God, that's it, yeah. Well, they, it burned down, but they used to have, where you on
A
Halloween.
lock-in.
Yeah, you'd all come
Halloween.
in and keep a kid. So I don't think Halloween's, you ain't going to go to hell if you go out and eat candy and dress up like an idiot. I don't think good Lord's going to be that upset about it. I think you got other stuff to worry about. But besides that, there's plenty of other reasons not to even go outside. Why would you let your child go out and get stuff from strangers and then with ISIS and Ebola and Ferguson, all this stuff going on, why would you let your child go outside? Don't make any sense to me.
Third Pentecostal Church of Holiness God worships Ghost Bird now, so I don't know where they're having services.
I'm glad it burnt down then.
Well, what are you gonna do though, Jackie? Listen, let's just say that if you so much as step outside your house, you're gonna get Ebola. You still just can't keep your kids locked away forever. You know, you gotta let them go out and learn to be, fly, little birdie.
Well, I wouldn't.
Even if that means them getting Ebola, they got to learn to make their own choices.
I wouldn't have no children then, because that's all. They ain't gonna get no joy out of life anyhow. With what's gonna be left. Why would anybody, let alone, let's say you already messed up, you got children now as it is. And I know a lot of people with children. I don't mean to say I'm sorry you decided to have children under this president, because you knew how things gonna wind up.
It's your own fault.
Yeah. So why would you? Can you imagine having a baby today? Everybody, and I know there's probably people out there having them right now. You listen to this. Why would you have a baby on the day that Ebola's coming? Because I don't know if they make hazmat that small.
You could probably just wrap them up in some sort of cling wrap.
Well, you're going to have to. And what kind of life is that for a child? Cling wrap, tinfoil all over them. Whatever else. It ain't no kind of life. Why would you have a baby when ISIS and Ebola and Ferguson and everything happening in this country right now? Why would anybody? It don't make any sense to me.
I wouldn't have no children either, Jackie.
No.
At least none that I know of.
Well,
I guess everything's terrible.
It is.
We ain't got no answers. We didn't give no answers to you.
There ain't no leadership to
ain't no good news.
Ain't nothing.
Things are getting worse every day.
Yeah.
Here in Murfreesboro on the upswing.
Well,
America straight down the toilet bowl.
Well, everybody out there, I appreciate y'all listening to this, and I'm going to tell you right now, get all your hazmats suits you can get, whatever's left.
Maybe your Army surplus store ain't burned down.
Get it and learn how to put it on just right. Get all the rubber bands you need and the buttons. Get all of it. Put it on correctly. Next week, if we still, which of course we're going to still have Ebola. I don't even know why I said that, because there'll be twice as many people dead next week.
Yeah, maybe 4 or 5.
Well, it could. Yeah, well, it could be 4 or 5 more people die from it. That's what I'm saying. But just go get your hazmat now suits, and then next week I'll tell you how to put it on right. So tune in, turn on the computer, how it works, and listen next week, and I'll tell you how to put on this hazmat like I got on right now. Well, not now. I got it upstairs. I don't have it on down here in the thing, but I'll put it back on here in a minute as soon as I get done. And I'll explain to you how to put it on just right.
Takes forever.
Well, you got to do it a certain way, Ebola get in there. You joke, say whatever. It takes too long.
It's long.
Well, you're going to sit right there. You're going to sit right there with the door shut until I got it on and on properly. And if you're going to complain again, so be it. But that's how we're going to do it from now on.
It takes him 17 minutes to lace up his damn shoes.
Sometimes longer. If I'm going to make extra sure, because that's the thing about it. I don't want to give too much away, but it's all about checking. Once you put your shoes on, you have to check it. Make sure it's on just right, and then you know what you do? You check it again. And we'll go through the whole suit next week, all right? So go out and get your Hazmat now, and we'll do it next week on this here.
So that gives everybody something to look forward to. Thanks for
Your
listening,
gloves,
everybody.
you do it if you shoes, then you put your gloves on. Check it, make sure it's all right. And you don't go to the next thing. You check just what you put on. Over and over again until you make sure you have it on right.
But then you check it all again when you're done. It just takes, it's long. It's a long process.
Well, you won't be safe. Go get your hazmats. We'll go through this next week. Hopefully, some of y'all will go ahead and get one and learn how to do it yourself between now and next week so you don't wind up like Texas. Because I know there'll be some more.
So thanks for listening. Thanks for checking us out. Thanks for listening to us on the iTunes and the
race review. Wait, I remember race reviews, iTunes. Twitter's race review. No, Facebook's race reviews and Twitter's.
Pretty good.
That's it. Yeah.
All right. Thanks, everybody. See y'all next week.
I appreciate y'all tuning in. Oh, and don't forget, another thing, as if things ain't bad enough, I just need to get this in real quick. If you see a robot, hit it with a broom handle. All right.